Well, Man United came out on top in the Manchester Derby, winning 2-1 at the Etihad. Not a result most people expected. It was not a very good game overall, not too exciting, but it had a great finale, and overall, the tactics were very interesting because of where these two teams are at with their managers at present. So welcome to Campfire Football. I'm Sebastian North. Let's break down City versus United. All right, formations and teams. Let's go ahead and start with City. Now, most of this is pretty straightforward. You have Ederson in goal, Walker on the right, Diaz and Gvardiol in the middle. The big obvious thing was Núñez playing at left back, but the rest of the team, Foden and De Bruyne as the two attacking midfielders, Gundogan as the holder, Haaland up front, Silva and Doku as the wide guys. All of this is pretty standard for City. Of course, one of the things that would happen is Gundogan would slide over, Gvardiol would join him in the midfield to create a double pivot, and this left a sort of back three, but the thing is that Núñez was also joining the attack a lot of the time, or coming inside, maybe going out wide to allow Doku to come in. But sometimes Walker would step up around here as well and leave Diaz by himself. Now, yeah, this looks like a completely gnarly formation. It makes absolutely no sense, and that's kind of how it felt for City. They just were not fluid. As for United, it is a continuation. It is working so far in the sense that you're getting an idea for which players will work in this and not. Now, Lisandro Martinez, he makes a hell of a lot of sense at the left center back. This position is sort of made for him, much better than, say, Johnny Evans playing here. Maguire playing as the central player, basically tasked with winning any ball that came into him and Erling Haaland. De Ligt as the right center back, and the good thing about De Ligt and Lisandro is they're both good with the ball at their feet, able to find passes into midfield or out wide. Mazraoui this time was the right wing back, and I think this position works really well for him, and it allows Amad to be one of the 10s. Now, he was there alongside Mason Mount, and you had Bruno and Ugarte as the pivots in midfield. Man United be forced into a substitution. Mount would get injured, Mainu would come in, and so that actually pushed Bruno a little higher, and I think that made a difference. Bruno is a better player in more attacking positions. He's able to launch counterattacks more effectively from here, and Mainu and Ugarte are better ball winners. So overall, this made a lot of sense for United, and in the end, Amad was the hero. He had a fantastic game, and we will show you why. So let's get to it, and let's go ahead and show you what the shape that these two managers took. So you can see Man United's shape. It's very clear. Højlund as the 9. Then you have Amad and Mount as the advanced midfielders, Ugarte and Bruno behind them, and you'll see the rest of the team as the ball shifts around. Here you have Walker on the ball. He plays the ball across to Diaz, and you can see Gvardiol is playing as the double pivot with Gundogan, and you have Núñez kind of floating in this area here, decides to get himself wide, he gets the ball. And one of the things that Núñez did not do was play the ball to Doku and combine with him. He would play it to him and always just kind of stand right where he was. Problem is, this does not make Man United make decisions and choose who has to follow him. Núñez should play this ball and either overlap or underlap and see, does Bruno follow me? Does De Ligt follow me? Does that leave space open for Foden? This did not happen, and it really hurt City. Also, this ball, it just makes Doku reach for it. Now he's under pressure. Yeah, he's quick, he's able to get away, but Núñez had that kind of day. Everything was pretty sloppy from him. And once again, you can see Man United's shape. They have 4 in the midfield area. They're back 3, and their wing backs here. It's just hard to play through. They're really, really compact, and Højlund would stay high, always giving them an outlet to go the other way. So I said Matheus Núñez had a rough day. Yep, there's a bunch of clips where he's just struggled. But overall, it's City's fluidity that is just so off. Here, Gundogan takes a touch and dribbles towards Gvardiol, and I guess he just thinks he plays it to him. Gvardiol's trying to get out of his way, and they have a total mix-up. Now, Núñez gets the ball quickly and recycles possession. In it goes to Walker. He immediately finds a seam and plays the ball forward to Haaland. Now, for some reason, no one reads that Haaland needs to just flick this on. Foden's not really active for it, and so he kind of drifts, and the ball gets played behind him, and he doesn't recognize it, and so Bruno is able to collect it and win it. Now, watch this. Right as Mazraoui gets the ball, United are already thinking, how can we get out quickly? And De Ligt is going to look out and see Mason Mount in a seam. Check it out right here. There he is, takes a look, sees Mason Mount in the seam, and it's an audacious one-touch ball. Somehow it connects. It's really not that perfect, but it gets there, and Man United are out and able to counterattack. So as I said, Núñez at left back meant that he could charge forward quite a bit, and here he would get the ball and start going forward. And like, look, right now, just zip it into Doku's feet and keep on running. One of these two players is going to have to follow you. And if they mess it up or they try and play an offside trap that doesn't work and Doku gets you in, there you go. You're behind the back line. Doku can always just cut back himself. But now you've just run yourself into an area where it's like, what's the point of playing the square ball out here? You've got 3 on you already. You may as well go the other way. Foden's trying to run in, but at this point, Nunes has made up his mind. I'm going back. Okay, here you see Gvardiol, who has stepped into midfield, which the whole point of this is to create numerical advantages. Amad cannot cover both of these, and if Mason Mount starts to run over, he leaves Kevin De Bruyne wide open. So Man United have to sort of hold their guard, and as Gundogan gets this ball, he should turn and look out wide, because Man City have a 2-on-2, and the player with the most amount of space by himself is Kevin De Bruyne, in a fantastic position to be able to cross in a ball maybe to Haaland. But Gundogan just dawdles on it a little bit, and he almost essentially cuts this ball out because Mount is just too close now, and so he tries to open up his body for it. It doesn't happen, it doesn't open up, so he turns back inside, and now Man United have this area crowded. Foden checks, De Ligt follows him, wins the ball. Amad drops it back to Bruno. Bruno looks up, and this is where the counter-pressing from City. Foden's close to the ball. He's not going in. You don't see Haaland running towards it, and you actually see Gundogan running back. So Bruno just dribbles through 2 players, splits another 2 with a pass to Mount, and United are out going the other way. Guardiola must be really frustrated because City were just so sloppy. I mean, watch this pass from Nunes to Gvardiol. It's like a bouncer. Gvardiol, should do much better to control this. He pops it up, tries to do a little volley into Phil Foden, and is very fortunate because this is a 50-50 ball, and Foden's just able to get his toe on it ahead of Ugarte, get it back to Gvardiol. He plays to Gundogan, and watch this. Just movement off the ball, like not being lazy. Kevin De Bruyne could just drop a few yards, and the ball out to him would be very easy to connect. Mount wouldn't be able to go get it, and if Mount does run out here, then Haaland has a huge space to get the ball to if he checks in. But KDB just stands there, and so then Gundogan tries to dig a ball out from under his feet. Again, technically poor, and he's so fortunate that Bruno Fernandes does not intercept that. Now, Nunes had a rough day, but Manuel Ugarte was terrific for Man United, I think. So I'm going to show you why I say Nunes had a rough day. He gets the ball here, and once again, I think he should play it into Doku and overlap him. That's the best way to see. Can Kobe Mainoo follow me? Does De Ligt come out? Do they organize themselves if you try and run beyond them? Instead, once again, he cuts back, and as soon as he does that, Ugarte already knows. Kobe Mainoo's got this pass to Foden cut out. Ugarte knows this ball is going to Kevin De Bruyne, but it's a square pass. I don't think I need to tell you how bad that is. Square passes are almost considered sin in the center of the park. This is why. They're easily cut out by midfielders who read them, and off Man United go on another counterattack. Here's another bit of sloppiness. Doku. He's got Kevin De Bruyne running alongside him. He should just lay it off to him and let De Bruyne take it. Instead, he tries to do a back heel that Mazraoui reads. He just back heels it right into Mazraoui, and United almost win the ball. Now, Doku gets it back, plays it into Nunes, and once again, Nunes just, it's so obvious where he's going. Gvardiol, yes, is the open player, but Ugarte reads it, and Bruno does as well. So they both double in on Gvardiol. Ugarte makes the challenge. Fernandes goes away with the ball and plays Amad through. So despite all this, City actually took the lead from a kind of botched corner at the end of the first half, Gvardiol heading in. And Man United, I think, were just unlucky to be behind. But a player who stood up for them massively in the second half was Amad Diallo. And Amorim's formation, I think, worked really well for all the players. Man United were getting around City a lot in build-out. So Lisandro Martinez getting the ball here, finding Diallo who gets deep enough, and right away you've got a 2v1 right in the middle of the park. Bruno Fernandes and Ugarte come to it, and they make De Bruyne make a choice. He takes one step towards Bruno because the more advanced player is obviously a little more dangerous. It goes to Ugarte. He drops it into Lisandro Martinez, who just sweeps the ball off to the other side of the field for De Ligt. This is very easy from United. Now, as De Ligt gets this ball, he probably should zip it into Mainoo's feet here. I'm not sure how much Doku has it cut out. I don't think he really does, and that is a problem from Doku. This press from City is terrible. Also, if it's not going into Kobe Mainoo at this point, Foden has got to get closer to Mazraoui and not let him just receive a ball and do what he wants, which is exactly what happens. Mazraoui stops the ball, takes a look, plays it up to Mainoo. No one followed Mainoo. Gundogan just kind of quit on that halfway through the action. Mainoo looks up, plays the ball into Amad, and he takes a very nice touch inside, beating Nunes easily, and now he's able to cut in and switch the play and United go the other way. Now, Lisandro Martinez, who a couple seconds ago was switching the ball at the top of his own box, is crossing the halfway line and plays it to Diallo, who has gotten into a way more advanced position. Bruno's joined them as well. It gets to him, and now you're going to see a total breakdown in defense from City. No one really going to the ball quick enough, and there are 3 against 2 on the backside. And this is where you're going to see how Núñez as a left back makes no sense. He does not know how to defend crosses. So Amad makes the run across, so does Højlund. Mazraoui is wide open at the backside. Amad stops, Núñez does as well, and the ball looks like it's going to make it over to Mazraoui, but it's actually a little shorter than that. And Núñez and Gvardiol get themselves completely scrambled, don't know what to do. Amad gets a free header without jumping right in the middle of the penalty area, and his header is saved by Ederson. And as I said, Amad had to be man of the match. He was just so good in certain moments. Here's another one. Ball goes out from Onana to De Ligt. He plays it into Mazraoui, and again, Doku should just be closer. Mazraoui receives this ball and is able to just swivel around and turn forward. You've got to be on the guy. He can't go anywhere. Instead, you give him enough time to curl a ball into Højlund. I mean, that is unacceptable. And at this point, Amad is running beyond, hoping Højlund might be able to flick him through. He realizes he can't, and so Amad just stops, checks back, and now he's able to get the ball to his feet. And he's going to take Núñez to the cleaners again. See you later, buddy. He gets down the line and then plays this outstanding cross with his right foot. I mean, look at this. To find Diallo on the far side, that is unbelievable. Terrific, terrific ball. Gets back to Fernandes, and he's not able to make anything happen. He would then have probably the ultimate chance to equalize. I'm sure after Bruno Fernandes missed this chance, Man United thought, that's it, we're getting nothing from this game. But it really shows Man City's horrendous back line. Look at this. Mazraoui in a tussle with Doku, gets away from him, is able to avoid the foul. I think he does well to stay on his feet, and he plays the ball into Højlund, who had dropped in. No one followed Højlund. I'm not really sure why. I think if Diaz goes here and Højlund can't turn, Walker can just go ahead and run with Bruno if he runs beyond. There's not really a problem here for City, but they allow Højlund to turn. Once he does that, they're in a little bit more trouble. But the thing is, Bruno Fernandes' run is so obvious. He is going to run between Walker and Diaz and look for the split between Gvardiol and Diaz. Like, we all know that that's what's coming. And Man City just sort of drop and freeze and allow this ball to be played. Bruno gets in. He's very, very onside and really should score from this position. You would have bet your bottom dollar on it, but he doesn't. And so that's why with just a few minutes to play, you really didn't feel Man United had a chance to really get back into it. But Matheus Núñez, man, he gifted Man United a road back into this game. So corner kick for City, it gets whipped in. Man United head the ball out, and they did a very good job of just following the ball and making sure it went further and further. Everyone got pressure. Grealish got the ball here. He ends up having to play it back to Foden. As Foden receives it, Højlund is nearing to him. He plays it back to Walker. Mainu goes. As soon as it goes out to Matheus Núñez, Xerxes goes and forces him backwards. Now the ball goes to Kyle Walker. Mainu continues, and Man City are back at their halfway line. Goes to Gvardiol. Amad sprinting up to try and put pressure on him. This is very good for Man United getting out after a corner kick. And you see here Walker saying just go back to Ederson. Gvardiol doesn't do it. Walker's able to step over it and turn and plays it out to Núñez. Now, Núñez has time on the ball. He should receive this turn and look forward and maybe find a central player like Kovacic or get it up here to Gundogan. I don't know. But instead, he just plays the ball back and did not see Amad, who goes straight in. And then Amad does a very good job of getting himself back in the penalty area despite Ederson forcing him away from goal. And Núñez just clatters him. Penalty. Man United equalize. Bruno Fernandes steps up. It's 1-1. And you kind of think, well, that's how this game's going to end, right? Nope. Here's the finale in its glory. And once again, it's City just doing some really basic things horribly wrong. So this ball goes up in the air from the header from Lenny Yoro right there. And basically, you've got Foden and Savinho close to Ugarte, who is clearly under the ball waiting for it to come down. Someone has to challenge. One of these two City players has to go and make some kind of aerial challenge to try to win that second ball. Instead, watch this. They just allow Ugarte to bring it down and then backheel it out of trouble. That is terrible counter pressing. It's awful. And it lets Man United out because Lisandro Martinez gets the ball. He should play it much stronger down the line to let Diallo go. That actually slows Diallo down enough that Savinho is able to come back. And so Man City are actually in an okay position here. The ball goes to Bruno. He turns and drops it to Lisandro Martinez. Now, I don't know why Bernardo Silva just stops right here. City are in a perfectly good position. You want to keep running at the ball, see if you can make him get it off his foot, make a mistake, but Silva just drops off. and he allows Martinez to just look up. And look what Ugarte does. He just says, yo, go long. And right at that same moment, Amad starts making the run. You can see Mazraoui on the far side with his hands up. And so Lisandro goes ahead, steps forward, and this is the breakdown for City. Gvardiol has no idea that Amad is here. Nunez and him clearly not communicating well enough, because Amad's just going to run in between them, and because he gets close enough to Gvardiol, Nunez basically is like, you got him now. Oh wait, you don't? But I don't either. And then Diaz didn't realize that there was such a big problem over here because he was ball watching, that Amad is straight through the heart of the City defense. That touch is incredible. But even better is the composure to actually put the volley on frame. Gvardiol can't sort his feet out to clear it off the line. And Man United win 2-1. Outstanding from United. I mean, what a huge result. Look, I have to say, Man United have definitely improved quite a bit so far under Ruben Amorim. I think there's definitely some squad issues there they're going to have to figure out. They can't have players like Rashford and Garnacho not available because they're not training properly. But overall, the rest of the setup looked really good, and I think Man United are building towards something. They're certainly looking better game by game, and this was a massive message that, hey, we can compete. We're back. This is not like Ten Hag in the FA Cup final setting up the most defensive formation he could and just saying, let's hope we hit them on the break. This is the way Amorim wants to play. It's very clear, and the players are getting it day by day. That's obvious. As for City, I don't know. Does anyone know how to explain this at this point? I mean, I don't actually think Guardiola made any terrible decisions today. His team is just sloppy. They're not fluid. Things are not working, and the confidence is completely gone. So at some point, they're just going to have to win 2 or 3 games on the trot. Haaland's going to have to start scoring again, and maybe they'll find a rhythm, but it looks like a tough season for them this year. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Sebastian North. This is Campfire Football. Take it easy.